Welcome back to the Tracy Trendy Show, my lovelies. It's another day. It's another dollar. And guess what? We got wives for wardens, wives for warden. I will explain when we get down along in the show. Okay, but first on the docket, Courtney and Will. People been asking Courtney, wondering how she's gotten that scar on her face. And nothing was mentioned until now. Apparently, right after her marriage ceremony, they take the mom to the airport and they had a near miss accident. And that causes her to recount a wild story about an accident with an ex boyfriend. Apparently, the car flipped 7 times. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, ocho. Whatever. Okay. It created a major gash on her face and leaving her scarred both emotionally and physically. Because this dude basically basically left her for dead on the side of the road like a real life demon. This is supposed to be their man, and he just like bouncing. And she said she has never felt so much blood just rushing and gushing. He probably thought she was dead, but still, my goodness. All right. So Courtney's mom said, "You think that as bad as that was, that Courtney would have straightened up?" But no, as soon as they stitched her up real well, she went right back to that street life. Okay, like no one asked for that. Okay, but her mom says, seeing Courtney with Will, she thinks finally that her daughter might have turned the corner because that accident wasn't enough. But she thinks she might have. So later, Will drops Courtney off at the halfway house. And just when they're both are settling in, he's at the hotel, she's at the halfway house. She calls him back, sounding quite crackish. Crackish. And I'm like, did she discover a magic lamp in that place? And that magic lamp had a bunch of bad decisions. I don't know. But the next day, Will, as a concerned partner, he straight up asked her, has she been partaking? And she flips out like he just accused the duck of quacking. Okay. She was, how dare you? I'm like, how dare you accuse me? I'm like, you are a crack fiend. Okay. And he just thinking, he stares at her. He's thinking that, like, if you're using, our relationship is dead in the water. Because as we all know, nothing says a happy marriage hooking up with the suspected crackhead. All right, he ain't dealing with that. He says he got himself clean and he's not trying to go back. Now, Kiana and Damodrick, they go out on their first date since Damodrick's been released, and they do a cute cake decorating date. And while they each have their own cake to decorate, Dee plants a ring in his cake. And as they're putting on the finishing touching on their own personal cakes, Kiana opens up about how hard it is to trust Damodrick. And, he says with all sincerity, of a man who's clearly still sneaking off to chat with that baby mama, promises it's going to be better this time. Because nothing says, trust me, quite like juggling multiple baby mamas with 6 kids that he had on the outside of their marriage. 6 kids. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, says. I mean, she should have been tired or numb of hearing this word, trust me, coming from him. But anyway, they go outside, they go look at each other's cake. And so she sees Damodrick's cake and she finds a ring. And oh my goodness, she turns all gooey eyed, already planning this wedding like a Pinterest board on steroids. Oh my God, this is so perfect. And she's already managing in her mind the flower arrangements, the venue, and how she's going to tell her friends about this fabulous love story about this man that got 3 baby mamas and 6 kids, and blah 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 blah. Look at us now. Look at us. So meanwhile, the Damodrick is just sitting there. He never said, "Will you marry me?" But he's slightly sweating, thinking, that's not actually an engagement ring. It's more of a, let's just say I'm serious, but not too serious to marry you, but it's a promise." And so they are there. Kiana's just planning weddings. And he's mentally preparing for an awkward conversation down the road. Okay? Because he's going to eventually have to tell her, or well, maybe she sees this episode. That is just a promise ring. Now, moving on to Julius and Alexis. They're on the docket. 1 month out of prison. Julius, like all the other jellies, jailbirds, His career dream is being a rapper. And he's got to roll out of bed and go to the studio. And I'm wondering who is footing the bill for the studio time? Could it be Alexis the doormat? Please, Alexis, stop asking him to write a song about you. I know you paying for the studio time, but let's be real. The world does not need a rap love song. We don't need it. We don't need the prison food or the struggle times that you guys had. We don't need it. So Alexis casually asked about a delivery job. She was like, okay, I'm paying all this. I'm, this and this, and you're just adding on to my bills. And Julius is like, acts as if he has an aversion to a 9 to 5 grind. All right. I guess that's the last season or last decade, 9 to 5. He was like, no, I tried that back when I was 13. And I don't believe you're working at Taco Bell at 13 anyway. But I tried it and I found out the fast money is better. So anyway, he's just quite perfectly okay lounging under her roof like a lazy house cat, oblivious to the bills piling up like laundry because he's not going to pay. He's not going to front it. And here's meek Alexis. She's over here dropping hints about the rent. And he's like, girl, you strong. You got this. Instead of, girl, I got you. That's a real man. He says, I got you. Oh, hell no. He ain't saying that. He's like, honestly, it's like he thinks he's some kind of a king just because he's out of prison. He kind of said he was the catch. Now, how about you throw on that blue Amazon shirt, buddy, and start delivering my packages instead of diamond singles in that sky that is never going to materialize? And I think it's time. It's time for all of these jailbirds to trade the microphone for delivery trucks. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Now, Julius, he's hitting the studio. He did do that. And but she can't trust him as far as she can throw him. And she has already gone on full spy mode and already slapped a tracker on her car. And in the meantime, in between time, she's at home feeling nauseous. And I mean, it's been a month and she hasn't been on birth control. And let's be honest, who needs protection when you're trying to land a baby with a guy whose ideal of stability is a bad rap career? Now, Alexis claims she wants to bring a baby in a stable household. But deep down, I ain't hear nobody say this, Luz. But we all know that she's hoping for the next supermodel on America's Next Top Light Bright Babies. I'm just saying. I mean, no rational person would ditch birth control and go bareback with a guy fresh out of the slammer. All right, nobody, unless you want a disease. And anyway, her friend swings by with the pregnancy test, and voila, she's officially knocked up. She's not ready for this life, but hey, at least she have a little human to love her unconditionally. And I'm like, where is her family? Is she a foster kid that's aged out or something? Because obviously nothing says stable family like a baby with a father who is out there in the street with his homies. So the girl, her friend comes over. She's pregnant, as I said, and they track Julius. He's no longer at the studio laying down tracks. He's chilling in a parking lot, surrounded by hoes who look like bros. Shocked? Shocked, are you? No. Mm-mm. Yeah, me either. I just hope Alexis is ready to explain why her future daddy's out here with hoes that look like bros. Now, I'm just saying, I just see one shot. And I'm just saying it's a strong face. And there are women with strong faces, Alexis included. And I'm just saying, I'm looking at this woman, this one shot. She could be a woman. I just don't know. I would have to watch the next episode. I'm looking at the wrist, it look kind of small. So it could just be a strong faced woman. Okay, I'm just saying. With a dude hairline. I'm just saying. All right, moving on to Savannah and Bradley. This couple is uno dos tres cuatro, 4 days out of prison, and Savannah and Bradley are still fighting. Bradley feels pissed that Savannah is mad that he ran off with her car. Okay, the entitlement is strong, but they got to meet up with an advocate because Bradley didn't like how he was treated in the pokey by the prison guards, and the advocate says he has no shot in hell of winning the case. It will be tossed out. In the meantime, she's noticing their body language. That's Savannah and Bradley's body language. And she's like, wait, is this the wife or the warden you got? And, she was spot on. And they get in a fight, and Bradley moves in with his dad. And I'm like, didn't Savannah's mom tell her that she and Bradley are oil and water? Because all they did was fight on the phone. So why are you bringing the fight in person? I just don't get it, my loves. Moving on to Joey and Michael. They're on the docket. Michael passed the drug test, even though he faked that he failed it, and he was just playing. But he is shocked because he never passed the test before. Oh, so they make it in time to go to Joey's brother's house for like a burger or something like and a piece of corn. And Michael, he's too blunt. He says that he has no plan and ain't trying to lie to Joey's folks about it. Sobriety is not on the menu. Michael's on a crash course going back to using. Michael feels the pressure and calls to complain to his homie that Joey's family's cookout feels like a recovery meeting filled with a bunch of Joeys. And Mama Joey in the inside the house tells her son that she's not feeling Michael at all and fears that this little crackhead is about to pull him off the wagon. If he hangs around this dope thing long enough. Okay, my loves. Moving on to this warden, another warden, Brooklyn and Brian. 2 months out of prison, Brian gets a call saying his ass better get a job in 2 weeks because you've been sitting on your ass and you need to get a job. And he has 4 hours on the outside to, do his whatever he wants to do. But he wants to get some clothes to, look professional at a job interview. And when Brooklyn finds out that his homie is picking him up, she's barking 4 hours. And, like she is the warden and he is the inmate, which he technically is because he is on parole. But, and if he doesn't come back and abide by the rules, he's back in the pokey because that's what parole is. You're not free. You're doing prison on the outside. So his homie swings by and to help him pick out some clothes. And Brooklyn decides it's a great time to storm out of the house and join Brian for some warden wannabe shenanigans. Because what's better than playing Prison Break Domestic Edition and your old woman out here playing the warden? And she's yelling, 4 hours and you better this. So his friend takes offense to Brooklyn and he fears that Brian might be moving too fast and he need to pump the brakes on that. And he might find something better that doesn't wear a potato condom, even though Brian the slug doesn't have much going for himself. That's just the mentality that these men think that they can do better when they have no job or pot to piss in. So and suddenly the plan unfolds. A quick trip to the strip joint for some lemon pepper chicken wings and some BBLs. That's the brunch special that nobody asked for. And they think they can squeeze this in within 5 minutes without violating his curfew? Sure, buddy, 5 minutes with 20 minutes on the clock. Might as well call up that pokey and say, here I am, lock me up again, and give me some special sauce on my t-shirt this time. Because you're going to get that special sauce on your shirt and the pokey. I'm just saying. My loves, this is the end of the show. Like and subscribe. It's always free. You're not going to get this commentary anywhere else. And drop a line below. Share your thoughts because this party does not end at the end of this video. All right, my loves, I'm going to catch you all out on the flip side.